I am perfect and my life has been perfect. I've never had anything bad happen. Said no one. All right, you guys. Hi, I'm Thalia, and we're doing a book study. We're going through my book, and we're on question number 3. And question number 3 says, have I addressed my previous traumas and triggers so that I can approach the next relationship in a healthy manner? So this is what I want to start with when it comes to traumas and triggers. Everyone that you see, that you meet, that you know of, everyone has something in their life that they consider a trauma. So just let that sink in, because I think sometimes people get so consumed with their own self that they think that they're the only one that is going through something. Not so. Everyone is going through something. Okay, so what that helps me so much when dealing with others, because you realize everyone is going through something. So it helps you to be a little more patient and not just, so all the time. It's important that we don't compare traumas. Like, it's not a prize. You don't get a prize if you've been through, 20 traumas versus 2, because the way it works is each person is given what they're able to bear, what they're able to handle. Like, it's like the 1 talent, 2 talent, 5 talent. People have a different capacity to go through things. And so, but just because someone may have a trauma that you consider to be like, oh, I could go through that, it doesn't matter. That's still a trauma for them. And in that person's life, that really hurts. So we can't dismiss someone's trauma or belittle someone's trauma because it doesn't match up to what we feel like trauma should look like. It doesn't. So that's the first thing when it comes to traumas. It's just realizing everybody's got them. Everybody. Everybody. So, and we have to admit that, research what ours are, learn ours, and then now we have to move forward and deal with them so that we're not allowing ourselves to continually be triggered by, whatever that trauma may have caused, right? Okay, so let me see what I wanted to point out in this section. 1 second. Let me give you a tip. This is in the book, but let me just tell you, your brain does not know the difference between an experience and a memory. Okay? So, say for instance, you experience an assault, right? So, your brain was going through it like it's, it's in it, so it's experiencing it. So, right now, move forward a month later, you are reliving it, going through it again in your brain. Your brain, your body, everything, it doesn't know that it's just a memory. It thinks it's going through it again. So when you're rehashing stuff again and again and again, you're putting yourself through those emotions and through those experiences again and again and again. You have to learn how to remember stuff but not be in it. Like, that's where we go back to the last question, where you're a fly on the wall, where you can look at a memory but not be in that memory. Look at it from a third party perspective, because you can't keep putting your body through that. That's too much to keep experiencing it again and again. And a lot of people do that, and that is not healthy. So I know I hit on that a little. And then also, let's see, I just went through a few different trauma examples. I guess we can go through a few of those. I won't read the book word for word. So if there was violence in your home, that's the type of trauma that's going to make you desensitized to violence moving forward, maybe prone to violence, maybe a lack of self-regulation. Now, these don't have to be true, because you could have recognized it and made the decision to not. I'm not going to be violent because I did grow up with violence. So I'm making a choice. So yes, you can definitely not have these just because you grew up with that in your home. But at the same time, this is something that, might be a trigger for you. I grew up with violence in the home. I really don't want to have that, so it could be triggers, or also reasons why you're attracted to certain people as well. Like if you grew up with violence in the home, you might be attracted to someone who is prone to violence, and it's because of familiarity, not because that's a good person for you. No, seriously, sometimes we're attracted to the things that we're familiar with, but we don't want to keep repeating those cycles, right? Having an absent parent, that can lead to abandonment issues, self-esteem, just lots of things like that. Now, again, it doesn't have to be, because you could have already dealt with it. But if you don't deal with it, that is something that, all these can be damaging. So you really have to deal with them. SAs, trust issues, boundaries, people pleasing, setting, SAs can be really damaging to the psyche, because what it does, it makes you have a lack of trust in like the male, because you feel like they're all capable of hurting you, no matter how they appear, which is actually true, and you should know that they are all capable. So and it makes you more on guard, which is not always a bad thing, but at the same time, you don't want to allow it to be a trigger all the time, and think that someone's always trying to hurt you. You have to read what's in front of you, not read the clues that are actually in front of you, and not what your brain's telling you. And when I say that, I mean not all guys are bad. Okay, and not all guys will SA you, but if you're an SA victim, that's the first thing that's in you're always going to think that. And so you really have to learn how to talk to yourself and say, not all guys are bad, not all guys. So it's just something that you really have to work through. Some of these, a lot of these are nothing has an overnight fix, quite frankly. So you're gonna have to be willing to work on these things. And you're not going to even solve them per se. Like before a relation, you might not solve them ever, but it'll be a continual, like every time that thought comes up in your head, you're going to have to push it down. You're going to have to talk to yourself. No, some people can't be trusted. Some people, like, it's a continual. So you're going to have to learn how to, and then pretty soon you won't have the thought, but it's a process. So know that going in. Overbearing parents produces, different, presents different ways. An overbearing parent, if you have that, you're going to maybe think that you don't know how to make decisions, or, you don't have confidence in your own decision making. And that sucks, because you need to be able to make decisions, so there's so many, I went through just a few different ones. I think I'm about to run out of time, so hold on. Let me see. I don't know if I need to do a second video on this, because we're going to later on anyways. I have a whole book coming about how to deal with traumas, so I won't. But just the most important part is not comparing traumas, and just realizing that everyone has them. And if we treat people with compassion, then that's going to be the best. We need to treat people with compassion. We need to understand that everyone's at a different place in their walk. Everyone's at a different place in their healing. There is no final destination of being completely healed. There's not that. There's only, healing, and then there's not healing, not even addressing it. So you want to make sure that you're at least in the process of healing. Yes, these things happen. Yes, I had these experiences. Yes, I have these traumas. and I'm working on them, and it's okay. We're all working on something. We're all working on something. Okay. All right. Carry on. Oh, I forgot to tell you the quote. Let me tell you the quote. It says, "I love being the underdog. It makes winning that much sweeter."